My dear brothers and respected sisters in Islam, I greet you all with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. All praise is due to Allah. We bear witness and we testify that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we bear witness and we testify that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his messenger and his slave. All salams and salawats be upon our Prophet, upon his noble family, his righteous companions, and all those who follow his path till the last day. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, as you know that the holy month of Ramadan is around the corner, and it's very, very important for every single Muslim to have a plan for this holy month of Ramadan. Just like it's important for us to have a plan, how do we wish to go to Jannah? If we are willing and if we want to go to Jannah and without having any plan, how do you think that is going to happen? Same thing goes with the holy month of Ramadan. It's important to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one, that we are still alive and we are able to reach another Ramadan in our lives. And don't let this Ramadan go without reaping all the benefits and all the rewards that we can. You know that our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, just before the holy month of Ramadan, he told his companions that a month is coming, the holy month of Ramadan. Do you know that in it, there is a night that is worth 1,000 months, and that night is night Laylatul Qadr, the night of power. Do you know, my dear brothers and sisters, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not honored the nations before us with this night? This night is specifically for the Prophet ﷺ and his nation and his ummah. This night is for us, my dear brothers and sisters. So it's very, very important to have a plan in place, to have a plan as a family, and to have a plan as a Muslim, a plan for yourself. Because sometimes, Ramadan comes, and without having a plan, time goes quick, and till we know that Ramadan is gone. And it is very sad to see that Ramadan is gone, and we were not able to achieve at least 20-30% of our goals. Wallahi, my dear brothers and sisters, being an imam here and being imam in other mosques, just from the last Ramadan, how many people were sitting where you're sitting today, and they're not here. They're not here. They're gone. They left this dunya. So consider this Ramadan to be your last. And that's the only way you can use this time wisely. And what are some of the things that we can do in this holy month of Ramadan, my dear brothers and sisters? I chose this topic because I see some Muslims are focusing on things that are not really important in Islam and neglecting those things that are mandatory in Islam. For example, a lot of people neglect 5 daily prayers, but when it comes to the Taraweeh prayer, they don't miss one Taraweeh prayer. And 1 million Taraweehs is not worth like one Fajr prayer, one Dhuhr prayer, one Asr prayer, or Maghrib prayer, or Isha prayer. So first focus on those things that are mandatory in Islam. There's no point for us praying Taraweeh prayer or waking up at night and praying night prayer and then neglecting Fajr or Dhuhr or Asr or any other daily prayers. This is very, very important. And this goes same thing to those things that we consider to be haram. So in Islam, first things, we've got things that are mandatory, obligatory in Islam, wajibat, and things that are recommended in Islam. So we should start with things that are mandatory in Islam. And then whatever we can do, those that are recommended, it's good. If we don't do them, Allah will not punish us for those things. You understand? Same thing applies with those things that are haram and those things that are makruh. Certain things are haram in Islam, and certain things are disliked in Islam. So people focus on those things that are disliked, and they neglect those things, and they still do those things that are haram during the holy month of Ramadan. You understand? This is very, very important, my dear brothers and sisters. Fulfilling obligatory duties and abstaining from prohibited or haram matters is key during the holy month of Ramadan. But when I say during the whole month of Ramadan, that doesn't mean that you should stop doing these things only in Ramadan. No, we should start somewhere. But inshallah, even after Ramadan, we continue with those things. So if we have any bad habits, and we know, we should acknowledge that all of us have weaknesses, no matter who we are. Number one, acknowledge them. And number two, try to get rid of them. And the best time to get rid of these bad habits is the holy month of Ramadan. My dear brothers and sisters, it is very, very important. Number two is once we know that we are able to do 5 daily prayers, and then we start with nawafil, things that are recommended. Those people that don't pray 5 daily prayers, okay? Excuse me. They should start with 5. Pray 2 rakats fajr, 4 rakats dhuhr, 4 rakats asr, 3 rakats maghrib, 4 rakats isha. Start with this first. Once you get used to this, and then you pray also the sunnah prayer. You understand? 2 rakats before fajr, 4 rakats before dhuhr, 2 rakats after dhuhr, 2 rakats after maghrib, 2 rakats after isha. You know why? Because the Prophet ﷺ says, whoever prays 12 rakats every single day, sunnah rakats, Allah will build a house for that person in paradise. And that is outside Ramadan. Imagine what happens in Ramadan. But start with those that are mandatory in Islam first. This is how we get used to it. Don't burn yourself. And why I say this, because some people start with mandatory and sunnah for the first 3 days. For the first week. Second week, no. They go back to zero. I don't want that to happen to you or to anyone. I want you to start with something that you're able to continue with those things, even in Ramadan, during Ramadan, and after Ramadan as well. You know, a guy came to the Prophet and he said, Ya Rasulullah, I am only able to pray 2 times a day. 2 times a day. Prophet didn't say, how about the other 3 times? He said, yeah, pray those 2. And the companion said, Ya Rasulullah, how come you're saying 2 for them? How about us? You're saying to us to pray 5 daily prayers. He said, let him start somewhere. Because those that pray 2, and then inshallah they will pray other prayers as well. A guy came to the Prophet and he said, Ya Rasulullah, what is important for me? He said, قُلْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقِمْ. Say La ilaha illallah and hold on to that. That is important for you. How many people don't even know? You remember last Ramadan, I talked about the conditions of La ilaha illallah. How many of us, how many of our children, how many of our family members, they might know what La ilaha illallah, they might say, but they have no clue what La ilaha illallah means. They have no clue how to believe in Allah properly. They have no clue how to do prayer properly. You understand? So we have to start and learn Islam like learning an alphabet, and practicing Islam like the alphabet. Start with things that are the most important in Islam. And what is the most important than knowing La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah? And after knowing that, start with what? With salah. You remember when our Prophet sent his friend to Yemen, what did he say? First teach them La ilaha illallah. Once you succeed, go to the next step, 5 daily prayers. When you succeed, go to the next one, which is paying zakat. When you succeed, and if you succeed. If you don't go to the next step without explaining the first one. Without explaining that salah is the most important one. Once they understand that, and then move to the next step. And this is important for us, my dear brothers and sisters as well. You know, start with things that are mandatory in Islam. Do things that are nawafil, voluntary, or recommended in Islam after you do the mandatory things. Number 3, and I'm mentioning these things briefly because we can say so many things about these steps. Number 3 is dhikr, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahi, my dear brothers and sisters, after these things that I mentioned, there's nothing more important than dhikr in our daily lives. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, verily, in the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find rest, find ease, find peace. Every time you feel down, every time you're facing something, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Say subhanallah, say alhamdulillah, say la ilaha illallah, say Allahu Akbar, say astaghfirullah. But when you say it like you mean it. Not just for the sake of saying it. You know, some people used to say astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. You know, Ali ibn Talib, he said to the other companion, because he was saying astaghfirullah like it means nothing. He said, you should say astaghfirullah for saying astaghfirullah. You should say astaghfirullah for saying astaghfirullah. Why? Because you don't even mean it. You don't even know what you're saying. Same thing applies with remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Especially during the holy month of Ramadan, my dear brothers and sisters. Our Prophet ﷺ said, shall I tell you about the best of deeds? The best of deeds. The most pure in the sight of your Lord. About the one that is the highest order and is far better for you than spending gold and silver. Is better for you than even standing in front in the line, fighting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, Ya Rasulullah, tell us, what is that? You don't have to spend. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't need to have wudu. You don't have to be inside the mosque. That is remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To wet your tongue by remembering Allah. Wherever you are, whatever you do, whether you're driving or walking or going or eating or before you eat, after you eat, wherever you are, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is one of the best deeds that we can do, especially during the holy month of Ramadan. The other one, my dear brothers and sisters, is, remember, so first one is mandatory things. Remember. Number two, when we succeed in those, we do things that are voluntary things. Please, I say this very bluntly. There's no point for you to come and pray Tarawih first if you don't start with those daily prayers. We want the mosque to be full. I love when I see people come and pray Tarawih. I love that. Wallah. But what I want to say here is what is best for you and me. We start with something that is more important. Voluntary things, second. Number third, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number four, which a lot of people don't use this ni'mah that Allah has given us, is dua. No one of us in this mosque can say that we don't go through some kind of challenge in life. Allah tests us in different levels. What Allah is testing me, maybe you won't be able to handle. What Allah is testing you, maybe I won't be able to handle that. But we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Prophet ﷺ said what? The weapon of a believer is what? Dua. So make a list of du'as that you need from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer, and repeat those du'as every single time. Let me give you a small example. A lot of people come to me and they say, Mom, I have a problem with my daughter, or I have a problem with my son, or I have a problem with my wife, or with my husband, or this or that. You know, Allah tests us in different ways. Make a list of other things, but specifically repeat those things that you need most. You understand? And also pray for other people, not just for yourselves. So start your dua in general. Pray for all Muslims. For Allah to forgive all Muslims, whether they're alive or dead. And for every dua that you make for every single Muslim, the angel will say Ameen. And may you have the same. And then specifically, for things that you need from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't do this one time and say, that's enough. Every single night during the holy month of Ramadan. The other thing, my dear brothers and sisters, again, I wish I had more time to explain these things more, but I just want to give you an idea. So inshallah, you will have a list before the holy month of Ramadan. And inshallah, I'm not saying you have all these things, but at least have a plan, have a list that you are going to do in Ramadan. The other thing is very important, to have a relationship with the Holy Quran, with Allah's book. Wallahi, this is something that we lack a lot. We don't touch the Quran only in Ramadan, mashallah. You know, the dust is there. You know, we leave it somewhere nice, and we even buy expensive Quran, thinking that the expensive copy is going to help us more than a cheap copy. No. Having the relationship with Allah's book, it is very important. Encourage yourself. If you don't know how to read in Arabic, which is a big loss, read it in your own language. Maybe it's too late for some of us that are a bit older. But if you're not able to read it yourself, what is your excuse not to encourage your children to learn how to read Allah's book? What's your excuse? What is my excuse? Mosques everywhere, imams everywhere, online, wherever you want. My father's excuse are those people that you have in front of here living under communist regime. Even if they want to do, they have no one to teach them. What is your excuse? You know those people that teach their children how to read the Quran and memorize the Quran. They have a special place on the Day of Judgment. Allah will clothe them, will give them a special clothes, only because their children learn the Quran. They learn how to read it and they memorize the Quran. You will be honored. Allah will honor you as a parent because of your children. How many people, and you know, I call bluntly, they come from far away, Mom, can you read this from this or this or that? Because not many people know how to read the Quran. So inshallah, we as a committee and Imam, we will start classes of the Quran. And I'm sure every single mosque, they have classes. So it's up to us whether we want to send our kids. And Allah has given you and me 50 years, 70 years of this dunya. 70 years. You were not able to spare 3 months to learn Allah's book. But we are able to spend 4 years for a degree, 2 years for masters, 3 years for PhD, and we are proud of that. I've got a diploma, I've got a certificate, I've got this. My professor was this, my professor was that. By learning the Holy Quran, your teacher is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is something that you should be proud of. We should be proud. Please, encourage yourselves and encourage your children to get closer to the Holy Quran, my dear brothers and sisters. The other one that I consider to be important is to keep good company. You know, sometimes we're human beings. With who you stay all the time, this is how you become, you know. Especially during the holy month of Ramadan. Spend time with people who are pious, people who remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people who encourage you to do good things. Maybe your plan was not to give charity that day or that moment, but your friend is saying, you know, we're collecting this money for overseas or for this cause or for that cause, and you give $5, so you see they're encouraging you to do something good. Maybe your plan was not even to give that $5. Or let's go pray Zuhr, let's say, in congregation in the mosque. Let's go do this. Imagine if you stay with those people that not just they don't fast or they don't do anything, but at the same time they commit haram during the whole month of Ramadan. You just being close to them, even if you don't like what they do or you hate what they do, just being close to them, you will get that bad smell, that bad odor because of their sins. Just like the blacksmith, as the Prophet said, what did he say? When you go to a blacksmith, you know that bad smell? Even if nothing happens, then you get that bad smell. This is how a bad friend is. When you go to a perfume store, even if you don't buy anything, then that good smell of that shop comes with you. And this is how a good friend is, my dear brothers and sisters. Especially during the holy month of Ramadan, please be in a company with those people that remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other one I want to mention here, and one or two and I'm done, is repenting to Allah. All the things that we have done for 11 months, all, that those bad things, please repent to Allah before entering the holy month of Ramadan. And all of us commit sins. All of us make mistakes. It's a natural thing. This is how Allah created us. Doesn't matter who you are. But Allah loves those people who turn to Him in repentance. People who are humble. People who are humble in front of Allah and say, oh Allah, I acknowledge my sins. And no one can forgive my sins but you. Oh Allah, please forgive me. And this is very important. And the last one, and before last one, when I say ask Allah for forgiveness, another thing that's important is to forgive one another as well. You know that there are people that come inside the mosque and they don't speak with each other. They don't shake hands. You know, I came from hospital today and I see a man dying and you see regrets and people, you know, when you come to that last moment, you think of a lot of things. I wish I've said this, I wish I've done this, you know, all these kind of things. Why wait for that last moment? Doesn't matter who is at fault. Doesn't matter who is right and who is wrong. You be that better person. You be that bigger man and say, you know, shake hands with that person. Greet that person with salam. And say, if I've done something to you, please forgive me. And I forgive you. Whether that person deserves to be forgiven or not, you do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah will forgive you and me on the day of judgment, inshallah. And build relationship with your family members. I know outside Ramadan, I know myself, and it's not something to be proud of. A lot of times I leave home when my kids are asleep, I go home when my kids are asleep. Wallahi. Ramadan has to be time to take some time off. Spend more time with your loved ones. Bring that barakat back in your house when you all sit down and eat iftar together and eat suhoor together. And talk about family matters together. One leaves in the morning, one comes late, one goes here, one goes to school. I understand the lifestyle here. But change those dynamics during the holy month of Ramadan. And teach your children, say, no, if we're all going to eat together. Even if I have to take time off, I will do that. And be proud if you do that because you're doing it for your family. And imagine you're at home and you pray some Taraweeh together or you talk about Islam or some topic or whatever. Wallahi, it's a great thing. Something that I grew up with. And I mentioned this many times here. We came home early. We had to wait for my father to come from work so we could eat together. We lost that. And when you sit on the same table, you know, wallahi, we discuss about a lot of things. What did you do? So you are connected. That bond is stronger. When you don't see your child, when your child doesn't see you a lot, they lose that respect and they lose that connection with their parents. And when they grow up and we try to advise them, they say, where were you until today? I have never seen you. You were never been a father figure to me. All you thought is work, work, work. Go enjoy your houses now. So we have to sacrifice something to get something greater. Don't sacrifice your family for anything. Family always comes first. Even if you have to work one job, even if you miss something or you have one house, so what? I mentioned to you that I didn't have a house. I have a house, alhamdulillah. And my child can have a house just like I do today. What makes you think that you have to leave 10 houses to your child, to your son or to your daughter? Who gives you this idea? And you miss all the fun in going to school and going for practice or doing this or doing that. Balance things. Use this time during the holy month of Ramadan to reflect, my dear brothers and sisters. Consider this month to be your last, because there's no guarantee that we are going to reach another Ramadan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that all the good deeds that we do, especially during the holy month of Ramadan, may Allah accept them, Ya Rabbal Alameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that this Ramadan will be a reason for all of us and our family members to enter Jannah, Ya Rabbal Alameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that every good deed and every bad deed that we stay away from, we do it only for Allah's sake, Ya Rabbal Alameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that we feed ourselves and our families with halal, and we stay away from haram, Ya Rabbal Alameen. To make us of those that we always ask Allah for forgiveness, and we will be able to forgive one another, Ya Rabbal Alameen. To make us of those that Allah is pleased with us in this world and the next, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ameen. آمين آمين. وأقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. سيستغفر الله إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.